Okay guys, so I'm heading off to my 100-mile ride. Thought I'd go up lake first, get a little climbing in. As you know, my ride is mostly on a bike path that is flat pretty much, and just pacing. So it's nice to get a little bit of climbing in to get a little workout. And I'll climb in the beginning, I'll climb afterwards, but the goal is the 100. I do want to do a 100 and a 10,000 mile day, but I'm not ready for that yet. That's a big day. So I'll climb up to the top of lake today, and I want to give you guys a view of Altadena and a view of where we're at 7 months after the fires with our supposed expediting of cleanup and rebuild efforts, where we see very little progress. And it's kind of like anything the government does. It's just sad that we've succumbed to this marginalized governance of people that are just in it for themselves. They don't really care that these are people's homes, and that holding up permits, holding up things means holding up those people's lives. And they seem to be constituents that are only there for political gain and what's in it for them. And that's quite apparent when the person that was put in charge of the homeless, LA homeless something, she contracted her husband to lease property back to the city, back to that organization at $400,000 per person for a 6 month lease. And I just can't fathom how those people are not prosecuted and there's not something done to stop that type of corruption. I think she left, well, I know she left her office, but there's more and more right behind her, like scavengers looking to see where they can pretend to be in it to help people, and all they're really trying to do is give themselves a huge salary for doing nothing but helping their friends scam the government. And that's what it's come to. And in spite of all the other problems we have besides homeless, like with the problem we're having now with ICE raiding the immigration and the people that have been here illegally for 20-30 years, it's kind of like putting toothpaste back in the toothpaste tube. It's very hard to do. I don't know why they didn't go the corporate FBI route and just start investigating all those companies and reconciling who's on the books, who's on their payroll, make sure they have I-9s, make sure they're working legally and paying taxes. And they could do that several ways, but we just lost track. And there's a saying that goes, you can't manage something that you don't monitor. And they've let that go unmonitored for decades. And you could see the growth in the cities and certain communities, that all the rental property, all the schools, all the grocery stores, all that stuff you could see the commerce and that community growing, and know that there's a large reliance on public services. You could see that growing too, yet you don't monitor it and start investigating it. And where I'm at in the hospital, we get people coming in all the time that are very poor and very old and have basically dying in their homes from neglect, even though they should have had some type of public service. I was just told last week, one of our patients, their Medicaid, which is Medi-Cal in California, expired and nobody helped them to renew it, even though they're living in low-income public housing, even though they are getting food stamps with the SNAP program, even though they're getting all these other social services. Somehow that service was allowed to lapse. And again, if you don't monitor something, you can't manage it. So what are we doing here, people? What are we doing to allow our communities to just get trashed, literally trashed, with the garbage and drugs that the homeless bring in, the drugs and the human trafficking that illegal immigration brings in, and everything else? There are really good immigrant people here living illegally, hardworking people. I have nothing against them, and thank God those people come and take some of the worst jobs and just work. And you know who's really taking advantage of them besides the employers that are paying them? But the so-called aunt or uncle or relative that is, okay, well, I'll help you come here and get a job, you just pay me this, and I'll let you live here under my lease, you just pay me this. Those are the people that are also exploiting, because I feel like for the most part our illegal immigration problem is a matter of exploitation more than anything. They just raided a marijuana farm, and they found that many of those workers were underage. So not only are they exploiting adults, but they're exploiting children. So I will leave it at that. I don't want to be too negative, and I just want to put that out there and let you guys know, take care of your health. Your health is your wealth. No matter how much money you have, how much property, how much assets, how many cars, how many homes, how many vacations, how many fancy dinners, at the end of the day, it's about your health. And are you healthy enough to manage your own life and have a stable life with a life balance, a work-life balance, and be able to survive? And I'll talk to you guys later.